Ezra, I am so, we've got to keep on down. There we go. Ezra, I'm so moved by the teaching that you shared this morning, by all that you've done this morning, and this teaching in which you grapple with how much we as a society focus on money, seeking to understand greed and how it works, and contrasting the Mishkan with the golden calf. This is such an important and hard conversation to shine some light on today. Now, there are many instances in which money is not a bad thing, but rather it's the thing that allows us to provide for our family or for our community or for those who are in greater need than us. So this challenge that you've brought to the table, of course, is not just one-dimensional. But you opened a conversation about what happens when money becomes the most important thing, more important even than life. You raised a concern about when money is prioritized over people. And we should be able to say never. Never would money be prioritized over people, but we cannot say that. Far too often in our society, we have a laser focus on the bottom line, on profit, and we don't often think enough about the consequences of those choices. I want to unpack with you a little more of the contrast that you made between the Mishkan and the golden calf, because these two building projects help us understand the ideas that you raised in a different way. So to get us all on the same page, this Torah portion finds us in the wilderness, 3 months into our journey from Mitzrayim, ancient Egypt, to the Holy Land, to Israel. Moses is way up on Mount Sinai, talking with God, and ostensibly receiving the 10 Commandments. The golden calf, one of our structures, is a very shiny idol that is built while the people are waiting for Moses to come down. He's been up there for a really long time, and they are so worried now that he isn't coming back. So they build this golden calf, and they call it God. It is a structure built out of fear. The Mishkan, which is called the tabernacle in English, is the structure that we build for our journey in the wilderness and through the wilderness. At its center is the Ark of the Covenant, in which is placed the tablets with the 10 Commandments on them that God gives to Moses and the Jewish people at Mount Sinai. The Mishkan is a structure that seemingly is built from hope. Okay, so now we know what these two structures are, but what do they teach us about Ezra's message? First, to build the golden calf, Aaron, the priest, tells the people to bring him all of the gold that they have. There is one thing that has value in this project. It is the gold, the most precious of metals, shiny and appealing. In contrast, in building the Mishkan, Moses tells the people to bring any gift of their choosing. Sure, gold, silver, and copper, yes, but also blue and purple and crimson yarns, and fine goat's hair and ram skin and dolphin skin, acacia wood and oil. So many things are valued. Second, in the building of the calf, everyone is asked to bring the same thing, regardless of what they actually own. There is one measurement of what's good. But in the building of the Mishkan, each person is valued for the unique gift that they have and that they are inspired to bring. Asher yidvenu libo, as their heart so moves them. If you have no gold, your contribution is still prized and encouraged and valued. And finally, the calf is built by Aaron alone, one person. He collects the gold and he throws it into an oven, and by his own recounting, out pops a calf. That is literally what our text says. From the Mishkan, when it comes to building the Mishkan, it's about the people. Moses and Bezalel, who's the chief builder, and all of the people who are Chacham Lev, who were skilled and wise of heart. Everyone built it together. It's about the communal enterprise, the participation and the contribution of every single person. So, we've got this fairly intense juxtaposition. One project about gold and facelessness and people being monetized, the other a tapestry of varied materials, mutual reverence, and honoring people's participation. One kicks off the journey to the Holy Land, and the other ends like a lot less well. Like it's not a great part. People are not very happy during that. Now the Mishkan has gold in it and on it and overlaid all around it. It's not without wealth. But these stories help us to figure out which one, people or stuff, is supposed to take precedence. And what happens when we really do believe that all that glitters is gold. Today, it can seem like money rules the world, like profits are more important than health or family or even our planet. But this week, Ezra, I want to share with you something that happened this week that is different, that tells a different story. As many of you know, there was a tragic shooting in a school in 2012 in Newtown, Connecticut, which took many lives, big and small. There is nothing that we could do to reverse such a loss. And also, some of the families have been engaged in a lawsuit against Remington, the company that manufactured the gun that was used. Now, in 2015, under great pressure and financial power from the National Rifle Association, a federal law was passed that made it impossible to hold gun manufacturers accountable for any deaths that their weapons might cause. But this week, for the first time in history, this changed. The gun manufacturer lost. Remington's insurance will pay the family $73 million, a symbol of their accountability for this crime. So how does this relate to your teaching this morning? Because gun manufacturers have prioritized profit over human life over and over again. They have shown themselves to put selling a gun to anyone willing to buy it above the consequences of such a sale. In this case, the family showed that Remington pitched its rifle to at-risk young men with militaristic language in violent video games and elsewhere. One example they gave was an ad with a picture of a rifle, along with the words, "Consider your man card reissued." Just such a troubled young man used just such a gun. But humanity, people, rose up and they said, no more. Human lives are more important than earnings. And they won. With incredible courage and clarity, they flipped the equation. It's a sad story, I know, and what is lost will remain lost. I tell you this, Ezra, this morning, because you have reminded us here to be awake to this, to not give up hope that our society could and should and will value life above profit, that it must, and that people acting together, connected to one another, building the most beautiful Mishkan, using all of the colorful gifts that we have, can make that happen in our day, Ezra, in your day. The calf is built to stay right where it is, stuck, to appease for a moment the fearful. But the Mishkan is built to travel forward, to point us towards a better place and to help us get there. May we take heart in your message, Ezra, that it is people coming together that make one another whole and help us find our way towards that future. Amen.